Hooray! Hello!
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to the Demon Plague. I am your Dungeon Master, James Introcasso, and I go by he, him, and I'm very, very excited to have a lovely, delightful, romping D&D adventure with these fine players today. Let's go around the table, have everyone introduce themselves. Rudy Basso, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Rudy Basso, he, him. I am playing Rain Bowie, a human monk who currently has a supposed good knight hostage with a knife to his neck. Good guys, D&D party.
Exactly. And let's see, Robert Aducci, who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Robert Ducci, he, him, and I'm playing Torsten Alehand, a cleric and wizard.
Forgot to update the overlay. I'll have to do that. Sorry, Robert.
No,
Multi-classing.
Excellent.
it's okay.
No, that cleric is
Healing for
super
the win.
important.
Yeah, for real.
Oh,
And TK, who are you and who are you playing?
It's me, TK Johnson, they, them. I am playing Isabel Halfback, a half-orc fighter. I'm sorry, my cat's trying to climb up on the desk, and I'm like trying to like shoot him like the
Oh.
eyes, like don't you do it. Yeah,
cats are immune to
and,
eyes.
Rain just, Rain just knocked out a knight, and he's holding him hostage, and Isabel's ready to fight, and she hasn't fought anybody, so I hope that she doesn't make any poor decisions today, because she's already threatened almost all of their allies.
I'll hold him, you punch him. It's a great combination.
Yeah, I love punching. It's the best.
And Lauren, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I go by Oba Crazy. She, her. I'm playing Rock the Arakukara Rogue, and I just came back from PAX, and so my voice is So if Rock is suddenly going through puberty in the middle of this fight, that's why. Rock has recently discovered that humanoids on horses are really easy to make fall over, and she is very amused by this.
Excellent. So, yes, let's talk about last time. And actually, before we get there, I just want to remind people, look above my head. You can purchase auto successes, auto fails. You can have an NPC named after you. You could buy a health potion for this lovely party if you give us some bits up here. Also, whenever one of us rolls a natural 20, we'll be doing a giveaway of a PDF. Now, on to the recap. Last time, the heroes of Fort Frostfell, that's you all, were wrongfully imprisoned for murder. To get out of jail, you managed to cut a deal with the village council after you discovered that the Order of the Last Bastion Knights were planning an uprising to take over the town. While planning the defense of Tomar's Crossing, Rock overheard Ilaria Walrus, niece of Village Master Bajalin, tell some of the other town militia that you all needed to die in the coming battle. However, there was no chance to sort that out before the Knights' attack began, and then suddenly stopped as Rain Bowie grappled Sir Breniform Steelcrest, leader of the Knights, and threatened to kill him if the attack did not cease. It is the next morning in Tomar's Crossing.
Okay.
Now, standing near the center of the village is
us. We've just been there all night in a stalemate.
It is Bajalin giving a speech. You all are there. You have yourselves fully equipped and loaded after a long, stressful week being in prison, dealing with mages who have come to town to kill your friends, dealing with all sorts of mayhem, and of course being recognized as heroes. This has been a tough one. So you all had a good night's sleep. You're fully rested. You're level 6, feeling great. Bajalin's speech begins by him recounting the battle and how Rain got Sir Breniform Steelcrest and the other knights to surrender very publicly. And therefore, the heroes of Fort Frostfell are to be honored. and to be cleared of all charges in the murder of Counselor Reason Fergon.
Yay.
Okay.
I'd like to say that Rock is in the back with her friends, and every time he says Fort Frostfell, she says kick-ass.
In fact, not just Rock, but there is a contingent of villagers who do that same correction, like shout "kick-ass," you mean kick-ass, up at the village master who is making this speech.
So Rock does it once, and then there's this whole group of people who are doing Fort Kick-Ass, and she is just grinning like an idiot every time they do it.
The knights have been imprisoned without their gear in the wood fort that they actually built themselves. They are guarded by a combined force of villagers and refugees who are now part of the village citizenry by Rosalie Shortmania. All refugees who participated in the battle as agreed now have the right to vote in the upcoming election, and that is all eligible refugees, basically.
Hooray.
You know, children basically were not, but they wouldn't be able to vote anyway. So
I have a question actually. Did we ever establish that new refugees would gain voting rights too, or is it just these people that are currently camped here? Like if more swarms of people
that is
arrive?
a good question. So the stipulation was that they participate in the battle. However, many of the leaders who you all brought in then were able to negotiate for the continued rights of refugees as they come in.
Hooray!
Which is something the village council acquiesced to, because it seems at this point so many people have gathered outside that it's probably just a trickle coming in, and so they're not too concerned about this large mass of new voters showing up, and they don't want to appear unfair at this point. So you managed to twist their arm in that direction as well. Bajalen also mentions that while the divides in the community are beginning to heal, all is still not well. Reason Fergon's murderer must be found and investigated. And Bajalen mentions that his own niece, Ilaria Walrus, ran off after the battle with a contingent of some of the village's finest warriors. She stands accused by the heroes of Fort Frostfell of conspiracy to murder. However, she's not around. She's out there somewhere in the wilderness. Today, the brave heroes, that's you, Bajalen says to everyone, are headed back out into the wilderness to find a necromancer who has been plaguing refugees on the road. Now, this may be news to all of you, because this was not something you necessarily discussed with Bajalen, but he is telling the assembled people there listening to him that this is now the case. So, what would you all like to do?
Do we think this necromancer is the same guy that we were originally gonna go attack? Oh, I gotta find his name. Ralakai?
Ralakai Gravemore.
Ralakai Gravemore, that is correct. A necromancer who has been allying himself with bandits and sending those bandits to capture people on the road so he can perform experiments on them.
Okay, so he's not necessarily lying, he's just upping our timetable.
Right.
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 I have a question. When are elections exactly?
Right.
Because we've been hearing it's an election year, but when are elections?
Good question.
We never
Especially if
established
Torsten
that.
is coming with
Yeah,
us and
exactly.
on the ballot.
Yeah, do we know that if Torsten has to be, or do Isabel and Torsten know if Torsten has to be present?
So another thing that was negotiated was pushing back the election timetable a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
Because the refugee leaders want a chance to campaign and
Okay.
run.
Well, that's better.
And so you have about a month before elections now.
Okay, so they were gonna happen super soon, but then they got pushed. So this is probably good because I would imagine Torsten's gonna need to be here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so Also, slightly suspicious. Hey, heroes of Fort Kickass, go off and fight a
Yeah.
necromancer,
I
and then
mean-
if you don't come back, you can't run for election.
Classic Bajalin.
Classic
Right.
Galen.
I mean, I'm happy to go. I want to be look. You know, I wanted to look for my mentor there, anyways.
Yeah.
So
what was his name?
that was
Callous Wandfinger
That's
is her
right.
name. Yes.
Yep.
I have another question.
Yes.
This is so there are 4 council seats.
There
right?
are.
What if it's a 2-2? Shouldn't there be an odd number?
So the village master, their vote counts as 2.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
So Bajalin's vote counts as 2. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know that.
So right. So essentially, for the village master to lose a proposal or a policy proposal, they need to be outvoted by all of the other members of the council.
Wow.
as it were.
Is
Yeah.
the village elder, is it by seniority of council, or is that a separate election?
So much like the actual governing body known as a borough, right? A form
please.
of government known as
This
a
is a
borough.
teaching show.
Here we
so-
go. I grew up in the borough of Collingswood. So the borough of Collingswood has a board that is elected, right? Or a council, a town council that's elected. And then among those councilors, they decide among themselves who the mayor of the town is. This is the same way. Among
Oh,
the
man.
council, they decide themselves who the village master is.
All right, so Torsten, if we want you to be village elder or whatever, we need you to be buddies with everybody else who gets elected too.
right.
Huh.
And
Didn't even
if
think
you
about
are the hero of killing necromancer evil guy, that would probably help.
Definitely.
Probably help a little, yeah.
It's a pretty popular stance. It's like, there's basically 100% disapproval rating of necromancers right now.
I
So,
mean, gosh, if we want to think small.
So,
Sorry, I forgot I wasn't an evil character.
well, and how many candidates have announced right now? There was like a lot,
So
right? Can we just do a quick rundown again?
Sure, we can do a very quick rundown of people who are running. And actually, you do not even, I should say, the adventure has yet to interact with all of these people.
Oh.
So, indeed. So
It's just got super meta. Wow.
the 4 members of the village council are running. So Bajalin, Kalinis, Palmine, and Kadra are all running again. So all of those seats are up. There is also Summith Skullcleaver, who
Mhm.
you have met before. And then there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 people from the refugee camps who are running now that they can run. So Nibbin Blondebeard is the dwarf, Genus Clocker, Huberg Greyborn, who you all know before from the Village of Ice Song, and Katika LeBlorn are all running as well, and have each individually thrown their weight behind Torsten, who is also running as promised, where if Torsten was able to help give them the right to vote and run, they would be able to throw some support behind him. So there's 4 there. And then there's 2 other people running. A guy named Journey Yorvin, who runs a tavern.
His name is
That-
Journey.
Yeah,
I, Rain
He doesn't
Bowie,
stop believing ever.
will stop the believing.
yeah. It's I should say you could pronounce it Journey,
Ooh.
Jorny.
Which
But
does
how
he
do you
not
pronounce
prefer?
it, Jake?
I pronounce it Journey, much like I pronounce Mastiff Mastiff. So yes, although I wrote this book, so I have no excuse for. So that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, so Journey used to own a tavern that was actually destroyed by a storm that came through after the comet strike. And Journey is very outspoken, does not like the fact that refugees are gathering, and beloved around town because the tavern was very beloved.
Well,
So
let me ask him.
yeah. So it was a little bit of a isolationist, one might say. And then there is a woman who runs a inn that has remained standing. Her name is Malaga Terwain, and she has been letting refugees, as many as she can pack into her inn, stay for free.
Oh.
She has been handing out food for free. She has been basically running her inn pro bono for anyone who needs it for as much as she can sustain, and is trying to also run, but has not been doing a very great job because she's spending so much time with the people who will keep coming to her in.
Torsten,
So-
I'm leaving your campaign team. I'm sorry. she needs help.
Okay,
that-
I got. Oh, sorry. I got Nibbin, Huberg, and Katika. I missed the fourth person. Who's that?
Journey.
No, no, from the
Nibbin,
refugees.
Oh,
Genus
sorry.
Oh, Genus Clocker.
Spell that real quick for me.
So that is Jeanas, and then Clocker is clock with an ER at the end.
Whoop.
So
And those are refugees.
this brings up an interesting question. Does everybody run as an individual, or is this town used to seeing like blocks of people? Like there's
Yeah.
a foursome that are running together as a block who are going to support each other, who are going to, talk about, who are going to all have kind of a similar stance. Is that a thing?
everyone votes individually. You can vote for whoever you want to. It's not a joint ticket like president and vice president, right? You vote for whoever you like. However, sometimes people do run together. If you remember, Katika was trying to get Torsten to run with him together, sort of as a package deal campaign together. So that does happen. There was not a lot of that going on because before the refugees were given the right to vote, there were only 6 people running, and 4 of them were current council members. So there wasn't a ton going on there. I will say that before all of this happened, all of the current council members all spoke highly of each other, especially Bajalin.
Interesting.
So, but
And
you are
sorry,
all
I
now
think I missed
aware
at the
that
beginning.
Bajalin seems like has some dirt on various council members. So,
Yeah.
I think I missed it at the beginning. Who of the old counselors is still running?
All of them.
All of them.
all of them. Yeah, yeah.
Do we know whether or not Kalinis is pro or anti-refugee? I'm making notes. I'm just wondering.
No, that's a great question because
Gotcha.
we know nothing
So-
about him.
You'll
Except that he's
remember
a mastiff.
Kalinis and Bajalin seemed resistant to refugees getting voting rights. However, they are not necessarily anti those people. I'm just trying to think like them, not
Well, I mean, like, they're
necessarily
right.
like I, James, would think.
Yeah.
So
But I mean,
interpret
like,
that as
they're-
you will.
Yeah. I just wanted to know if we knew if Kalinis was like a Kadra situation where she's like secretly pro but openly anti because of like blackmail, but that's fine.
Right. So yes, exactly. So as far as you know about Kalinis, he seemed against that.
Okay. That's fine. I'll just put a question mark.
Although did vote for it when Bajalin changed his mind.
Yeah.
Again.
And do we happen to know, or I guess Torsten would be the best person to know this. Does Torsten know who like the next chain in command for the Church of Eldath is now that Isperl is gone? Was there a
That's a
funeral?
good
or
question. No,
anything?
I don't know. I didn't even know there were other people. I thought it was just Isperl.
Yeah, because now we're taking the only healer away from the town. How do people feel about that if there's not somebody?
So you're not taking the only healer away from the town. You might be taking the only healer who is a priest of Eldath, a cleric of Eldath away. However, there are several other priests and people of faith among the
Oh,
refugees
okay.
as well. So, and they are willing to step up and help the Church of Eldath and, combine pool resources to heal people. There is sort of a coming together, and it does seem like now that they've been given voting rights, the town council is all about the refugees and helping them out. And
Yeah,
that's
I
what-
bet. Yeah.
That's
So-
fine. Okay, I was just making sure that there's like not only one
And-
healer or
And
maybe.
Palmine was around too, and she was.
Yeah, but Palmine's a werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
the
heard
werewolf-
if a werewolf even touches you, there's a chance you too can become a werewolf.
I
I don't
this
want a werewolf
campaign
giving
of
vaccines to
misinformation.
my children.
Exactly.
Oh, maybe we can vaccine against werewolfism. Maybe it's one of those
There you
like
go.
you get
Well,
the
yeah, but I
flu.
don't want a werewolf giving an anti-werewolf vaccine to my child either. How can I trust you?
Exactly.
I mean, that's fair, I guess.
We will have to watch out for more wolves.
Okay, that's all the questions I had. I'm sorry.
No, those are all
Oh.
excellent questions.
Mm.
Please, you need to ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to come help us fight the necromancer?
Do you ask that out loud in character?
Priests.
So we're going to fight necromancer. Anyone want to come?
There's a lot of like,
So we just
well, I would, but my
Yeah.
back, my back got
Okay.
disc, and it's just blown out. It's bad for fighting necromancers.
I'm allergic to necromancer.
Skeletons, and I get freaked out, and it's old.
The healers among the refugees are passing out like doctor's notes.
However, when you ask that, Rock, you see a rug moving forward.
Yes.
Dorf!
Gorf, now emblazoned with the symbol of Eldath on its middle. The rug comes forth and is dragging a mace in its tassels behind it as it makes its way through the mud-streaked streets of town.
Okay.
Does that
And-
count as a holy symbol?
Yes,
rug?
it does. Yeah, it does count as a holy symbol.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Rain, this is the best day ever. Rain, look at Gorf.
All right. I will try and shame the townsfolk, having seen a animated rug come help fight, and yet still be cowards. With a performance check, as I will
Nice.
raise Gorf's tassels to the air and claim, "This is a true hero here, this rug. Unlike all of you, fearful cowards. He
love-
is willing to fight."
I love James's face where he's like, "This was supposed to be 5 minutes. 30 minutes."
Make your check with advantage because Gorf is aiding you.
I rolled a 19.
Oh my god.
Gorf, you are so inspiring, Gorf.
Oh no,
Let's see. Okay.
I love it.
Sure. So you are giving a speech, and 6 people step forward.
Nice. Minions, nice.
Yes.
One
Squires.
of them
Squires.
is, let's see, who is stepping forth here? Yes. One of them is familiar to all of you, especially you, Isabel. It is your son.
Oh,
Varys.
whoops.
Oh, absolutely not.
Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Not my fault.
Okay, I'll remember this.
He looks and he says, if my mother, who's a grandma, can do this, I can do it too.
You
Ooh.
cannot do this.
I don't know. I mean, Rain is right. Look, there's a rug that is willing to do this. I have to do this, Mom. You understand. You had to do it too. This is my town, my people, my wife and child were put in danger. My family. I need to fight for them.
Is Claga nearby?
Yes.
Uh,
And Claga is giving you the stank eye.
Okay. That's fine. No
Uh,
help from Plaga as usual. That's
I
fine.
step forward and say, "No fathers or mothers allowed to join with children at home. New rule I have established. That
all but,
too risky."
They like some of the people who step forward look at each other and turn around and leave, and just one dude is standing there with Baratus now. And Baratus says, "That's not a real rule. You just made that up."
They're making up this whole thing as we go along. So what are we going to do?
I look at Gorf and say, "Isn't that an official rule?" And I look at him.
Gorf nods.
Yes, good. See, the rug says it's a
Unsure,
rule.
and then when it seems like it's the right thing, Gorf's tassels like go harder and more confidently as you agree with him. And Baratus says, I'm not going to listen to the rug. You just used the rug to shame me. Now you're trying to say the rug is in charge of me? This is crazy. Mom, I'm coming with you. I need to make sure that you're safe too.
All right. Get your armor and your shield and your sword, and you can come with us.
Great. I have my dagger.
I said
That's
armor,
it.
shield, and sword. So
Yeah, but Mom, you're not the boss of me. So
you're right. So
So the rug is Gorf.
I don't have
Gorf,
to provide
yes.
you any armor, shield, or sword.
Gorf is in charge. Gorf, does he need armor, shield, and sword?
When was the last time I saw Baratus fight anyone?
Probably when he was a kid. He has not really taken to the super adventuring life as you know it.
More of the human half than the orc half. Okay.
Right.
No offense towards
Oh.
Rain.
Yeah, Gorf is now trying to give orders with its tassels because Gorf truly believes they are in charge now as they sort of like signal and start
A
making
little tiny semaphore with tassels.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And he's trying to like trying to get you to clean the mud off it, Rain, by like rubbing itself on your side and trying to like, you know, make you use your hand basically, like when a dog is trying to make you pet it, that sort of thing, or a cat, you know, is moving around. So that's going on, and Baratus says, actually, wait, right here, I know where I can go get some armor, and he takes off.
Okay, we'll wait. We're not waiting.
Okay, we're leaving.
I'm gonna look at this last poor gentleman who has stepped up.
He's a hero, not a poor gentleman.
Well, listen, he's stuck in the middle of this with all of us.
Do we still have our sack of ill-gotten weapons?
I'm sorry, you also know this individual as well.
Oh,
No!
Who is this?
Yes, I was also absolved of my
No.
crimes as well.
Do it.
Why? Why
Oh.
were you absolved of all people?
Because I helped in the battle. I proved myself.
Grant Ellis, it is good to have you with us.
Yes, I know. It's me. Look at my sword play. And he takes out a rapier and does like a couple of moves with it and is actually very competent as a sword fighter.
There we go.
all right, I guess.
And then he balances the sword point, his rapier point, on the end of one of his finger and is like walking around to keep it balanced like people do with a baseball bat sometimes.
No one likes to show off Ellington.
No, don't encourage him.
And then he tries to flip it off of his finger into the sheath.
Oh my goodness.
And fails miserably.
Okay.
As it falls into the mud. So yes, he's like, I'm still working on that trick, but it will be fine.
You need to work on your act. I was in the circus for many, many months, and you need more showmanship with that kind of thing.
Don't
So
stop,
even if you fail,
stop encouraging. Please stop.
it's too late. Rock is there for it.
Do you
I would.
think maybe if I lit the sword on fire, it would be better?
Yes, light it on
Yes,
fire.
yeah.
No,
takes-
no fire. Fire is very bad.
Isabel would like to convince Grant Ellington to also go and get armor and stuff the same direction that.
Oh, I'm already wearing my leather armor. Don't worry.
Are
It's
you sure that's
fine.
going to hold up against a necromancer?
Well, I mean, this guy's always taking off his shirt, so at
Yes,
least I'm
well,
wearing
he's
snow
healed,
armor.
So.
Yes, I won't be able to move around and do my fancy footwork, though. I need to wear this light armor.
Isabel, do I need to go put on heavy armor because then I cannot fly?
You know what, Grant Ellington? You can come with us. Rock says so.
Oh, excellent. By the way, Gorf has already started to go in the direction of Baratus
Yeah.
because Gorf thinks they need heavy armor as well.
Like, all right.
What's he gonna
You
come
can
back
come. Gorf is your commanding officer. Let's just go.
There you go.
When you mention Gorf's name, like Gorf turns around and comes
Yeah.
back very
Gorf,
confidently.
you're in charge of Grant
with
Ellington.
some good carpet ride as it makes its way towards you. So, is the plan like to book it right now?
Yes.
I look at Isabel. Okay, yeah, let's go.
I
Okay.
mean,
Don't we
unless
have-
y'all have to get supplies or something, but
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Yeah,
about
I don't know
horses.
if you know how
bone.
far, how far is it, and what.
So
as
you
long
do
we
as
need to
like
get
the
our horses?
Emeritus doesn't see us,
Yeah.
it's cool.
You were able to get directions from Gardang Marhold when you were there. It is about 48 miles to the Star Elf Barrows. So that's probably 2 days of
Okay.
travel if you're moving at like a fast pace. 3 days if you're not moving as fast. It's up to you. What do you you have, I would assume you have some supplies enough to make it there and back
Neat.
ready to go.
Can you make food and water, Torsten?
In fact,
Mhm.
you have a cart loaded up that Bajalin has seen to it, made the preparations, is ready to go. And
Who are the
That's
horses?
very kind of him.
I do
oh,
also
you know
have-
who the horses are.
Dusk is
Come on.
mine. I jump on Dusk immediately.
No!
They're pulling the wagon.
No, Dusk rides. But you try and try and make Dusk pull a wagon, buddy. Dusk runs free.
So mad.
Isabel, will your son follow us? Is he the type that will follow us?
Not if Isabel does this head thing to Klaga, is like, please keep him from catching up to us. I
and
can't
Klaga
depend on
says,
her.
if you Klaga will come over to you when you do that, and Klaga says, if you stay, he'll stay.
Oh.
Look, the house should already have a strong woman in it, and he will stay wherever the strongest woman is.
Oh.
She
If that's
turns away
you,
at that.
he'll stay here.
She turns away at that and huffs and picks up the grandchild. The grandchild over her shoulder has arms outstretched towards you, Isabel, as you are denied your hug goodbye
That's
from your
fine.
grandchild.
He still has a mouthful of candy somehow.
He definitely does.
Little
It-
sticky face.
Yeah, unclear how the candy even got there. It's just it just
Mystery.
happened. Yeah, exactly. So yes. So that is the state of things. You do, but Jalen brings around a wagon and he says, well, good luck.
I hate
Do
him
I
so
think
much.
he's really offering us good luck? Or
Of course not.
Oh,
We'll see you. We'll see you shortly.
I hope so.
News of the necromancer's demise.
Yes. I hope that is the case, that you're able to put him down for the good of all these people. And if not, you will have died heroically. And he reaches out to pat you on the shoulder, Torsten.
I will kind of step back and shoo his hand away.
Okay. Excellent. So yeah, you step back and put it away, and he says, bad look on someone who wants to be a council member, and walks away. And you see there some crowd, they weren't listening in, but they were observing you from far away. And he walks away. So, but it looks like the crowd could give a crap about this.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get our stuff and get out of here then.
Nice.
what's in the cart?
So in the cart are rations, feed for the horses, some fresh water, that sort of thing. There are also any of your equipment that was taken from you that you hadn't gotten back already is there. All of your stuff, including down to the copper piece, your money that was taken from you, and that sort of thing. And
Nice.
there is also, let's see. Let me roll a 20-sided die.
The funny thing about that is I still have 25 rations in my inventory from that giant pile. So Rock looks at this and goes, oh good, we can always use more, even though she's got 25 on her.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. There's also a large tent in there that you could use to, sleep if you're making your way, and it would fit all of you comfortably inside and hide you from the elements and that sort of thing. And there is a sign, like a woodworked sign, that says "Welcome to Fort Kickass" on it. And
Which is
there's
awesome, but we're going in the wrong direction.
you are going in the opposite direction, but there is a note on it, and the note is from Summit Skullcleaver.
Mhm.
And it says, "I finished this, but I didn't have a chance to give it to you before all of the craziness happened.
Aw.
like
Please consider it a housewarming gift from me."
Aw. He's so sweet. He's so thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
He is. I like him a lot. I like it. You like him.
Oh,
He'd make a good third husband.
before we leave, Kadra, I want to tell her that she should come with us because she's a wizard or sorcerer.
I see. Sure, you can. Kadra was
Quickly.
definitely there, assembled there. So if you want to, while everybody else was doing everything, Rain, you can go over and speak to Kadra.
Yeah, I'm just you. Help, help fight the necromancer. It should be priority, and you are one of the few magic users in the town.
That's right, but I'm also one of the few people that can be here to defend the town if something happens to it.
I guess that checks out. All right, I guess.
There are people who leave every day to go to your Fort Kickass. Rock the Aarakocra, and she sort of nods to Rock, is spreading the word about Fort Kickass. And
I'm aware.
I think the recent troubles here have convinced some that they should go and be with those who are already fixing up your home and making it habitable.
Okay, stay here. You're still running, right, for council?
Absolutely.
And you
And
will
now I can
oppose
run
Bajalin?
for myself and the people of the town rather than Bajalin, thanks to all of you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Have you?
She reaches out and gives your hand like a little squeeze, just like a friendly sort of squeeze.
Like
and
friendly or
then-
friendly?
Like friendly. And says like, "I do wish that I could come with you, and when I feel that the town is safe enough to take care of itself, I will."
Okay. I'm not buying it, but all right.
She does not appear to be afraid. It does appear to be sincere in the moment. So, and you also feel in that squeeze, Rain, that a note has been slipped into your hand.
Okay. Do you like me? I like you. Yes, no. All right. I will pocket that and read it later.
Okay.
Your hair is winter fire.
Right. It just says you had something in your teeth.
Oh.
So yeah, so you have that note, and you can check that out later. And if that's it, is the plan like to hustle here before Baratis comes back?
Yes?
I want to go see my family first.
Right.
I would assume most of them are there. So
Yeah.
see it, right?
This was like this is basically Bajalin explaining all of the new stuff that's happening in town, including the refugees becoming members of the citizenry and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of people here. So as everybody's sort of milling about and dispersing slowly, so you would definitely be able to go and find your family.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just go to my mom and my dad and kind of see, like, try to see what their plans are for the remnants of the inn.
So they tell you that they don't have a lot of supplies right now. They are looking into rebuilding as quickly as possible, and they're getting some help from folks. They only have enough to make like a small shack for now, but they're planning on building it in such a way that they can continue to add on to it and add rooms, because they want to be able to give back to as many people as they can. And they do tell you that if you have space in your cart and come across any sort of fresh building materials like wood, to go ahead and bring that back with you, because that would be very helpful.
Okay. Can we get some, get an axe and saw kind of stuff like that, so we could try to bring some stuff back?
Definitely. Yeah, that is a thing you're easily able to get. Summith Skullcleaver is a woodworker who is your friend and currently recovering and not working much wood. So you're very easily able to get those tools.
Cool.
Rock wants to really quick ask Kadra, do you think you can convince Baratus to stay here and help you defend the town? I think it'll make everybody happier if he hasn't come, and mostly Isabel. And if Isabel is happy, the rest of us are happy.
I will try, but I have a feeling he gets his will from his mother.
Well, this is true, but we'll already be gone, hopefully, so he won't have a choice.
Okay, I will do the best that I can. Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Rock.
Sure. These awesome persuasions of mine. That'll be a 4.
Okay.
Cool.
We'll see the result of that later.
Yeah. The only other thing Rock wants to do is grab the Fort Kickass sign, and if she sees any of the refugees that she knows are like getting ready to go to Fort Kickass, she'll hand it over and be like, "Oh, hang this somewhere exciting."
Oh yes, they will. They, there's a group of folks who are heading out. Like a small group of 4 people, and they look at it and they nod and they look. For the first time you've seen in a while, people are looking like excited about the prospect of going somewhere and starting something new. And, they're certainly sad and upset about everything that's happening in the valley. But today there is this feeling of triumph in the village. And a lot of that centers around the 4 of you.
And now you have a sign. And that's it.
Well, yeah, it's all our sign, right? Everybody in Fort Kickass.
Exactly. Go find it. Go find somewhere to hang it awesome. And then I hope you find somewhere to sleep that is warm.
Excellent. We will.
And then she'll take off.
Yeah, when you leave, you see Kadra goes over and approaches those people, and they're talking to each other. Just as you walk away, you notice that happen.
Do I overhear what she's starting to say, like, as I walk away?
Sure, you can make a perception check.
I'm much better at those. That'd be a dirty 20.
Okay. So you hear her say, I think I have the perfect thing to mount along with that sign.
No, wait, no. That was a gift, okay?
Rock thinks that's awesome. Is going to be like, yeah. Smelly, but yeah. All right. That's all I got.
So yes. So that is, let's see. Yes. So that's it? Everybody ready to head on the road?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Gorf, lead the way.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes first.
So Gorf hops on Dusk.
Whoa! Hold on a second. He can be a saddle on Dusk if he wants, but no. Also, I want to put belts all over Gorf as armor. You know how some of the silly 4E fan art had like belt armor for sorcerers?
Oh, sure, yes. Yeah, so you want to put a bunch of belts.
Isn't that just
around
going to
Gorf.
roll him
Well,
up?
I won't tighten it too much. I'll just kind of like...
Just a bunch of weird loose belts.
Make it
Yeah.
look like a cable.
Yeah.
The
Gorf,
early
you are
Yeah, exactly. 80s comic
1,000
book.
couches.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Gorf, you're in your emo phase now.
And Gorf has to stop like every few minutes and readjust, pull up all the belts and everything. So yeah. So you
I will also take to the air and be flying overhead and looking out for potential things.
Okay, great. So you all are traveling through the valley. How would you like to go here? Do you want to go at a fast pace or a slower pace? Slower gives you the advantage of moving like stealthily without being seen. Fast gives you the advantage of making it there faster.
What time of day is it?
It is the morning still, if you're leaving very quickly.
We could probably go faster during the daytime.
Well, if we go fast and we can't see what's going on, right? So, like,
Yeah.
there's still bandits and stuff out here, I would assume.
Oh, that's right.
You
I mean, are we in
can-
a hurry?
So essentially, there's 3 paces you can move at, right? You can move at slow, which allows you to make stealth checks while you're going. You can move at normal, or you can move at a fast pace. When you move at a fast pace, your perception checks are made at disadvantage to see what's going on.
I just say normal. We're not trying to be. Nobody's really stealthy except for Rain and Rock,
Yeah.
right?
Team stealth, you mean?
And Rock has like a ton of perception, so as she's flying.
And if you move at a normal pace, you'll be able to make it there in 2 days. So
Yeah, let's do that.
It'll take
That sounds
3
good to
days
me.
if you go slow, and less than 2, like 1.5-ish if you move. Okay. So let's see here. Cool. Okay. So the day passes and you're moving through. The valley is still mud caked. The mud at this point is just starting to dry up a little bit. So it's not as like slick, gross, wet mud. It's more of that like cakey kind of mud. It is still very hot in the valley, and it is still filled with gross insect life. You see a lot of starving animals on your way. You can see like, the occasional wolf that is loping along and its skin is slack and that sort of thing. And it looks like it gets closer to you than a wolf normally might if it were well fed or that sort of thing. But you're such a big party that it does not make any effort to attack. You also occasionally come by these large herd animals that are dead that you find, an entire herd of spread across the valley and that sort of thing. You can see some of these weird dust storms in the distance and that sort of thing, but you're able to, with Rock flying and the way you're moving, very comfortably ignore everything. And that first night, you all are stopped and camped. You found a nice place to be that's a little bit sheltered, kind of under like a rocky outcropping, and you could set up camp there. And how are you all going about your watch?
None of us
anyone
trance,
watch?
right? No. We're all.
Gorf doesn't need to sleep.
Oh, that's right. Doesn't he have pots and pans that I gave him to make noise? If
He does.
is
I
this,
mean,
is he
Rock
beneath
will
it
take-
now as the leader to stand?
Oh,
all night?
yeah. He actually curls up and hands you the pots and pans. Rain.
Oh, yeah. Rock will take the first watch while there's still a little bit of light because she does not have dark vision.
Gotcha.
Oh, Isabel has dark vision.
Oh, I don't have dark vision.
Yeah, Isabel will take night watch because she has alert now, so she can't be surprised while conscious.
Gotcha.
So she'll take the
Nice.
night
Excellent.
watch.
Great. So, let's see. So we've got some. So is it just going to be Rock and Isabel? Is that all?
I'll take a watch too. Early morning watch as dawn
Okay,
is
cool.
coming
So
up
we've
or
got sort of
whatever.
3 watches going here. So let's see. Okay, so Rain, in the early morning watch, there is just a small bit of wind that comes through that is some relief from this heat. And you can feel it. It feels pretty good on your face and skin as it's coming through. And on that wind, you could swear you hear a horrible screaming. And then the wind picks up a little bit more. Again, not to be worried or not like a stormy pace or anything. And then you're definitely hearing a scream on the wind, you realized.
Okay. I call out alarm to my friends and I start running towards where the scream is coming from.
Okay. So you all wake up, you hear this alarm. Rain is running, and then you all can hear the scream on the wind as well.
Ooh. Don't like that. Feels bad, man.
So, Rain, as you're running while everyone else is waking up, you find this. The screaming gets louder and louder, and it sounds like a person in horrible pain, and it's constant, and there is never a breath taken. You realize as this scream continues to fill your ears the closer you get to it. And you make it to a boulder, and the screaming is super loud. This boulder is enormous. It's like 6 feet around on all sides, and the screaming sounds like it is coming right from the other side of this enormous boulder.
Okay, I'm gonna stop because now I think it's a trap.
Okay. Yeah, and here it's very strange. It is erratic in that its pitch is constantly changing, but it is never ceasing. There is no breath about it.
Not so much. This is creepy. I'm going to do investigate. I don't know, James, what skill to kind of try and figure out what this may be. History.
Sure. I would take investigation. I would take insight. I would take, let's see, a knowledge skill like nature or arcana, maybe.
So I will use insight then to try to determine whether I think this screaming is a trap or a genuine scream from someone.
Okay, great.
Aha!
So while you roll that, what did you get?
A 9.
Okay, a 9. Excellent.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. The internet died.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
back.
2
What
of you in
happened?
our
There's
chat. I'm trying to get rid of one of them, but I can't, and it's messing up the overlay. So
I'm good at messing up overlays.
Ah,
My
that's
internet
fine.
just
It looks
die.
like you might have 2 instances of the call open. Lauren.
yeah, that's wild.
Ooh. All right.
I've never seen it before.
I
Cool.
will-
Anyway.
Okay. So while we're working on that, I want to find out what are Torsten and Isabel doing.
So as the as we hear this scream, I'll kind of get up and kind of look around. And does this sound like something natural or something unnatural? Like, is it, you said there's a wind, so is a wind just like blowing through something and making this noise, or is it some sort of undead thing, or what?
So it sounds unnatural in the sense that for all of the things that I was saying to Rain about the constantness of it, the erraticness of it, but it definitely sounds like it is a creature making it.
All right. And what's you said it's early morning. Is there light yet?
It is, yes. It's just dawn now. It's just starting to be dawn.
All right.
So.
And can we see Rain?
You can see Rain. It looks like he's run out maybe at this point, like 300 feet towards this huge boulder.
All right. I will kind of make sure everyone else is awake and start moving that way.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? What has happened? Too early.
So you all can hear this scream as well, and you heard Rain say, "Alarm, alarm," and take off. Is anybody... So Torsten is following Brock and Isabel. What are you doing?
I'm following. I wake up and I'm like, we're going that way? All right, here we go. And I'm off. I'm flying.
When I see Rock coming, I want to motion at her and point upwards. Like, I want you to fly up and get a bird's eye view, because I don't want to go around this... A bird's eye view. I don't want to go around this rock and get jumped by something. I don't know what's going on, I don't think still, but it seems very shady to me regardless.
And I feel like Rain and I have been team stealth
Oh,
long
we
enough
got the hand signals locked down. We spent the whole night going over hand signals.
Yeah, so
Exactly,
I'll fly a little higher, and if he's going around one way, I'll kind of angle a little bit around the other, but mostly going over whatever this rock formation is.
Yeah, in fact, Rock, you may have even taught Rain a little bit of Thieves' Cant, like some of the hand signals involved in Thieves' Cant, so that you two can communicate. Rain, you're not fluent in Thieves' Cant, but you know enough to give the strategic hand signals for sure. Isabel, what are you doing?
Isabel had pretty much just gotten to sleep. She wakes up immediately as soon as the alarm goes off. But once everybody else has run off to investigate, Isabel's like, what if I hang out here with the horses for just a minute? Just like a
Sure.
hot minute. Even though she's like dying to figure out what's happening, she also hates the idea of anything happening to Dusk.
Sure. I will give you inspiration for hanging out, and
Use the
that
turn.
is
turning
what did you
favor
get?
with
I'm sorry,
dusk.
Rudy, on your insight roll.
I only got a 9.
Okay. So yeah, you're unsure what
Hmm.
this is, right? And Rock, you fly up and over the boulder. Make a perception check.
4. Ooh. That's a 25.
Whoa.
Okay.
I roll really well.
So even from above, you can see in the mud, there is like it looks like the mud has just sort of uncovered to reveal a mouth. Like literally a human mouth that is screaming out of the mud. There are these long, gnashing teeth that are sharp coming out of the mouth. You can see them sort of open in this scream, and you can also tell that attached to that mouth, just beneath the surface of the mud, there's this outline of a face in the mud.
How big is this mouth?
Big enough to take
See from the
a
air.
let's say big enough to bite a pineapple in half in one bite.
That's
Who hurt you?
There are pineapples in Faerun? I'm so excited.
What a,
Oh my god.
to bite a pineapple in half.
That's
Yeah.
gonna become my metric for everything.
exactly.
I hate
Bite a
it.
pineapple in half.
I was thinking the same exact thing. How many
Okay.
pineapples can this
Oh
bite
my-
in half?
2.5. 3 if
Oh.
it's 4. All right. Do I just see the one mouth?
Yes.
All right. And it's screaming, but I don't. It's just incomprehensible gibberish, or is it like saying something, or is it just?
It is at the moment. It is just a raw cry in what sounds like frustration or anger or pain.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do frustration, anger, or pain, creepy giant mouth in the ground. I don't think Rock knows what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Does Rock maybe have a sense that this is a true frustration, oh my god, help me moment, or is this is she being lured into a trap? Can I roll an insight on the mouth?
Sure.
All right, that would be 24.
Okay, it's neither. This thing does appear to be truly frustrated or in pain, but you don't know that it's necessarily calling for help so much that it's just calling out because it is in anguish.
Mm.
You know, it's more of a emotional and involuntary response as opposed to a large, hey, come help me, please help me kind of cry.
Okay. Rock will slow down a little bit, and I mean this thing is shouting and yelling, so I don't think she
You
thinks
also
that they're-
think it has not registered that you are above it.
Oh, okay. In that case, she's gonna turn around and fly back to Rain and Torsten are on their way.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, in fact, I would say Torsten's probably there now at this point, hanging out with Rain.
Okay, I will fly back down to them and like stop them before they can go around and say, there's a giant mouth on the ground and it looks like it can eat a pineapple.
A
And-
whole pineapple or half?
Whole pineapple. It's very
Wow.
big. It's kind of scary, but it seems to be in pain, and I am slightly creeped out, but also worried. We should be very careful.
What kind of
Whoa.
mouth?
The one that can scream.
It's stuck.
Yeah, and
there?
this is all with the background of this thing screaming. It's so loud you need to raise your voices to speak to each other.
Okay.
We
And
don't need to do that on streaming. I'm just providing the context
Gotcha.
for it.
It hasn't reacted to hearing our voices, just screaming, still going? Because we're yelling.
Yeah, it sounds to be just screaming and still going. Yeah.
All right. did it look like it could move the mouth, or was it stuck there?
You could see a tongue in the mouth moving around, and it looked like it would quiver occasionally.
All right.
Like a human tongue, like a snake tongue, like a creepy tentacle
good
tongue. What
question.
kind of tongue we talking about?
Like a black human tongue.
All right.
Why?
Do we want to just turn around and leave, or do we want to talk to it, or do we want to kill it?
Let's go see what this thing is. If it is
Alright.
undead, it should be put to rest.
Torsten,
Let's mind our own business.
you go first.
It is too late. It is screaming, and if we do not come and deal with it, someone
Yeah,
else
someone
will, and then
else
we will
will.
have to deal
Yeah,
with
yeah.
someone else.
All right.
Exactly. I kind of, put my hand on my holy symbol as I kind of walk around this large rock that it was behind.
And
Okay.
I'll go back up into the air. How this this rock that's in between us and the mouth.
Yeah, it's 6 feet tall.
I'll like land on it and perch over it to watch.
I'll go around the
Okay.
other side of Torsten of the.
So yeah,
of the
you
rock.
have a good bird's eye view of the
A-
situation, Rock.
a joke I
Never-
made not 10 minutes ago.
And it will
that
never get old. Never.
darn.
Joke thief
darn.
James.
There was going to be a follow-up joke about being on a rock. Anyway, it's so you are on top of this rock. You can see Torsten comes around one side of the boulder, Rain comes around the other, and you all three of you at the same time see this mouth in the ground as described.
Hello. Parlay.
It just sounds. It continues to scream at this moment as you are talking.
Is it hungry? Let's get one of those
What are you
rations
gonna
that you
feed it?
have, Rock.
Don't we want to unbury it first?
I don't know. I think it is the mud. I don't know if there's
Ah.
someone in there or if it is. It might be a mimic, a mud mimic.
Like Rock, you can still see the outline of the face that looks like it's beneath the mud, almost like if you were buried in mud, right?
Yeah.
Your mouth was sticking out. So that is what it looks like. And Torsten and Rain, you can see after looking for a little while, you can see that outline as well. Now, that's not to say that it isn't just the mud shaped like a face, which it totally could be.
Like, is there a difference in mud at any point just from visual sight? Does it look like, okay, this bit's a little bit darker or something like that? Or is it just all plain old mud?
It looks like just plain old mud that's on the ground. Although, as you get closer, your feet are sinking a little further into the mud here, and things are a little wetter here behind the boulder.
All right.
As
All
I
right,
see
Rock's
Rain
just-
kind of start to sink a little bit, I will say a quick prayer to Elbath to bless all of us.
Isabel.
As he does that, I'm gonna fly down and I'm gonna wipe off the face.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. Isabel, as the screaming continues, you see the horses are getting very nervous, and
getting
they're
very
starting
nervous.
to whinny and stuff, and they actually start moving around a little bit, sort of moving the cart to and fro.
Can I so like realistically we probably wouldn't have slept with them already hitched up to the cart, but
Right.
that's fine too.
Yeah, I was thinking
it's
that they are tied to the cart in the sense that
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
so
like
that they
hitched.
sleep.
But like yeah,
not
yeah,
hitched.
yeah, that makes sense. Can I tell if it is because of the screaming that they are agitated?
It seems to be the most obvious stimulant.
Okay, yes, but can I tell if there is a less obvious stimulant? In
I mean,
the-
you're far away, so it's not quite as bad where you are. So yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
I would love to. I want you to know I hate this.
What, mouths? There's nothing
That's
wrong with
fine.
mouths.
I'll pay you back one of these days. Show you. There's my d20. 15.
Okay. Yes, you actually can hear what sounds like someone trying to sneak up on the camp.
This
You
doesn't
hear
make
some
me
like
feel better.
footsteps coming your way.
Okay. So I'm already not going to be surprised. Can I, besides hearing them, can I sidestep away from the cart and look? Because I've got dark
Yes.
vision. So
Yeah. So you step away from the cart and look, and you see creeping up the road, sword in hand, in a suit of mud streaked but new armor, is Baratus.
Oh.
It
Gorf
looks
goes over
like
to hug him.
yeah, Gorf just so back to the
Boy.
face people.
Hi.
Hi.
so mad.
So, face folks, when you slide the mud away, that is when the screaming ceases and the teeth start to gnash.
Oh,
As if-
I'm uncanny dodging the shit out of there.
Well, it seems like this. You wipe the mud away, and what you see is the head of what appears to be like a humanoid person with rot all about their face, and not fresh rot at all. This rot looks very disgusting. They look kind of bloated, and you can see they have one eye is completely gone and missing, but the other eye is this big red and yellow eye that is looking around. And as it spots each one of you, its teeth gnash, and it starts to make this like sound as you are after it is uncovered and Rock jumps away.
Yeah, and I pull out my silver dagger and I just right into its face.
No, it's
Okay.
Demonplague. Don't touch it.
That she thinks zombie, and she's just like, yeah.
So yeah, you shunk right in the face, and this the gnashing immediately stops, and it gurgles, and this black ichor just comes out, like erupting out around the dagger and trickles down the face.
Fly away, fly away. Dagger's lost. Don't touch it.
I've already pulled out the
No!
dagger. And I kind of look at the end of the dagger.
When you pull out the dagger, the entire head comes out of the ground with it. And the head is severed from whatever body it was previously attached to, and you see that this thing has like little horns on the top of its head, in addition to its gnashing teeth, and the bits of its neck have these purplish scales on it. And you also get the feeling that, like, while this looks like a humanoid face, this thing, its head, all of its features are a little bit larger than the average humanoid.
I'm gonna stand there for a second and be like, this is the second head I've had to deal with recently. This is not a trend that I like. And she's gonna like hold the dagger. She's like still holding onto the pommel, and like just try to shake this.
Throw it
head
away.
off.
Throw away the dagger. I'll buy you another one. I'll buy you 10 more. Forget the dagger. Throw it away.
Just splashes black blood
She-
everywhere.
She'll go ahead, like at this point, she'll just hold it away and then like do like a
So-
gentle toss, and she'll just lose the dagger.
Gotcha. So yeah, as you hold it away and then do the toss, the dagger and the head become separated, and the head, like, you know, the dagger falls maybe 5 feet from you, and the head goes flying like another 10 feet, spinning some of this ichor into the air. You all successfully avoid it. It's not that sort of thing, but so yeah, you can see the this head falls down, and your dagger sticks in the mud.
I gotta look back down at this hole that I just excavated a head from. Do I
Mhm.
see the rest of the body?
You do not.
Hmm.
You just see the hole where the head was.
Okay. I get a stick.
Okay.
I go over to the head and I kind of nudge it a few times. I don't know what I'm doing, actually. Torsten, can you speak with dead or no?
I cannot, not today.
Okay.
But I could actually, since I was sleeping, I could probably learn that later. Yeah, but Not at the
I
moment.
don't know.
Is it dead? Is it undead, or is it re-dead?
I'm trying to remember the monster we saw underneath Fort Kickass. Did that have little demony horns too?
It did.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I think this is. So I think this might have been frozen over and it melted, and now here we have a dead head.
Yeah.
That's
A
still
re-dead head.
re-dead
So,
head.
when she stabbed it, did it stop being? Did it stop moving around? And
It
stuff?
yeah, it stopped doing anything. It appeared to die, quote unquote.
I don't. What do you guys
Well, I
think?
will,
Should we bury it?
Say a
or-
prayer over it. Yeah, and let's bury it.
Yeah, let's bury it, just so no one else.
Did someone already bury? Like, if we bury it, is it just gonna start screaming again?
I don't think so. I think you finished it forever. I poke it some more
Okay.
times with a stick. Does it do anything?
It does not do anything.
Okay. Let's bury it, yeah, in more firm ground, I guess. I'm not sure.
Is there more firm ground
Is there
around
more
here? or-
firm dirt?
I mean, you could find some firmer mud, sure.
I'm looking for
So
the
while you
firmest mud in the country.
Gotcha. So
In the
you're
valley.
you're searching around for a place to bury this thing. Isabel.
Kill your grandson. Or your
Yes,
son.
James.
No. What are you doing? You can see Beritus is not exactly trying to like sneak up on the camp, but just cautiously approaching it, sword drawn. Looks like he has no idea what he is doing.
I mean, he got this far at night, so it's kind of like, and now it's at the point where it's like it's probably better that he's with us than not with us, because he's clearly not going to listen to me or
Mhm.
his wife or anybody who has more sense than him. So has he seen me?
He has not. However, at this moment, Grant Ellington pokes his head out of your tent.
Out of
and
her
says-
tent?
Well,
Or
out,
group
you
tents,
all
okay.
have the one tent. So
I
out
forgot
of-
Grant Ellington was with us.
Yeah.
and
hate
says, "Oh, did you hear something screaming?" "Oh, I guess not." And then pokes his head back in to the tent and says, "I'm gonna catch a few more Z's. Let me know when we're moving."
You know what? Isabel was gonna fuck with Beritus. Now she's gonna fuck with Grant Ellington, and she's gonna untie one of the stakes and just let the tent collapse on him.
Nice, and it's like a slow burn. You can see it's just starting to go as
Like, yes.
Beritus now like sheathes the sword and starts walking closer to you and says, "Mom, hey,
Beritus.
you left without me. You said if I got a sword, which I got, and armor and a shield," and he like turns around on his back and he has this comically large wooden shield. It's really heavy, but I brought it with me. Summoth had an old suit of armor, fit me
Oh.
great. Said I could have it.
That was incredibly helpful of Summoth to do that for you.
I told him that you told me I needed to have it, and he was willing to give it over.
This is the truth.
Okay. And she does like that high pitch, like,
You just hear
Okay.
rock in the back of your head.
okay,
This is true.
okay.
So yeah, but you left, Mom, without me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Why did you leave?
Why do you think?
Roll to be smart.
I because you didn't want me to come.
And yet you put on all the armor, you got the shield, you got the sword, you, I assume, spoke to your wife.
Yeah, she said that that she was a strong woman and she could handle it all by herself, and you were weaker than her and needed help. So I came. Mhm.
That's what she said. Okay.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She said you said to her, that she was a strong woman and didn't need me at home.
That is not the truth.
That's
Busy with this head over here, so I'm just gonna focus on doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Digging a real
Isabel's just
deep
like
hole.
the sort of like the high pitched. Okay.
Go
And
and
then
then
he,
another
like-
foot deeper.
Hole needs to be deeper. Hole needs to be deeper.
he takes off the shield and like collapses to the ground and is like, it's camp, right? So I've been traveling
no.
kind of through the night to catch up
No,
with you. So
sweetie, it's your watch.
it's my watch.
It's your watch.
Oh, and as you say that, the tent collapses over Grant Ellington and over Baratus. Like he's laying on the ground and it collapses over on him too. And you hear Grant Ellington say, "What? Not cool. Not cool." Meanwhile, at head burying, you all see you can see from a distance Baratus approach. The tent collapse, that whole thing, while you are finding a place to dig a hole. And you find a place where you are able to dig the hole. You throw this head in, and you cover it back up.
And by throw, we'll like poke it with
Yeah,
a stick
not-
into like no one's actually gonna touch it.
Nudge it in
Yeah.
with a.
Got it. Okay, so there's all this nudging happening.
Rock will sadly also nudge her dagger.
I-
She'll take a second and look at it and be like, "You sure, Rain?"
Yeah, I think just to be safe. I will
this is-
forge you a new one myself, Rock. And it
But I
will be much poorer in terms of durability and usefulness. But it will have so much more sentimental value.
Okay. I mean, I still have the silver fund, so it's not the end of the world, but I guess I'll start shooting more things with arrows, because if everything that we stab these things with has to go away, we're gonna run out of things to stab things with.
Yeah, I too will look into ranged weapons for punching Demonplague things. It does not seem the wisest of moves.
He'll use the stick and put it in the hole with the zombie Demonplague screamy head.
Okay. So yeah, you put it in the hole with the Demonplague screamy head. This head is buried. Grant
Torsten,
and
do you want-
Baratus,
I was gonna-
as you come over, they have just managed to repitch the tent. Between the two of them, it took a long time.
I was actually gonna ask Torsten, do you want to like do rites or bless or something?
Yeah, I'll say a few prayers over the head. Try to put whatever soul was left in it back to rest.
Gotcha. Okay. You gain inspiration, Torsten. In fact, everybody at this point should have inspiration. So good role playing, everyone. So yes. So you come back, and Baratus is just about to climb into this tent as you are all back.
All right,
No,
let's
you
hit the road. Everybody's up. We might as well get going now. Get an early start.
Awesome. When Rain says that, Isabel like high fives him. I imagine they high five without even looking.
That's right. Yeah, there's definitely a mental like and
Baratus, I thought Kadra told you were going to stay and guard the town.
yeah, she tried to get me to do that, but I wanted to be with you all. You know,
He's a big, strong man.
Yeah, I told Kadra that she should come with me, but she
Oh.
wasn't having any of it.
Ah.
So she said somebody needed to stay and protect the town, so she stayed. And yeah, she did try to stop me, but
Look at
but you know, like I said, Mom said if I got this armor and I brought my sword and my shield, and he like turns around and shows you all his back again with this big tower shield on it.
I want
I
to
can go.
kind of nudge him so he falls down because it's so heavy and it's off balance.
Sure, yeah, you just give him like the slightest nudge. It's not even a contest. And he falls back and is kind of like a turtle on its back. Like it takes him a while, and he's just sort of slowly sinking a little deeper into the mud.
I say,
centimeter by centimeter.
Baratus halfback, and then I smile and walk away, proud of my funny joke.
Isabel is just like angrily strapping up the horses and everything. Just like, no, it's fine. I don't know any better. I only raised him.
Grant Ellington comes out and tries to help Veritas up,
I
and
hope
he
they
ends up
become-
falling in the mud as well.
They're the bestest of friends. That's what I hope.
Rock is standing next to Torsten and looks over him and says, "This has all gone sideways."
Yeah. I just shrug. Family matters.
Should we
That's why I
do?
became a wizard.
You became a wizard so that you
To
didn't have
avoid
to
my
deal with.
family, yeah.
I
I feel
became
like
a
there's some deep backstory.
I became a circus performer to get away from my family.
There you go. See?
Perfect.
I have no
See if Bear
family.
just wants to join the circus.
Well, they are all dead. It was the whole comet thing. Maybe he can become a wizard, and then he doesn't have to be. I'm confused. We should go.
Yes.
So yes, so the wagons are loaded up. Veritas is actually a pretty good wagon driver, and
Something.
He has
volunteers.
proficiency in land vehicles.
He has proficiency in land vehicles.
Animal
And-
handling.
That makes me so happy every time I see it on a character sheet. I don't know why. Land vehicles.
There's so many of them in D&D, like
Yeah.
carts,
Cars,
Wagon.
buses,
Motorcycle.
mopeds. It's great.
Yeah, mopeds.
hovercrafts. So yes, so he is driving the wagon, and you all are making your way along this path when you hit. Eventually, you travel throughout the rest of the day, and it's getting on towards night when you come to a gaping cave entrance that has been uncovered by the melt. Those of you familiar with the Luna Valley have not seen this cave entrance before, and it is just sort of gaping open, and you can hear the drip of water coming from it, and there's a little bit of a hollow howl as the wind rushes over the mouth of this cave.
It goes straight down into the ground, or is it an angle in like a mountain or like a hill or outcrop?
It's in a hill. It's in a
Okay.
big hill.
So we wouldn't have to like tie rope off and go down. We could
Right,
walk.
exactly. You could walk right in. Now it does look like it slopes down once this opening of the cave starts, like a gentle slope. You know, you don't need rope or anything, but it just starts to ramp down.
This is the general area that we thought something was supposed to be here.
Yep. Yeah, this is according to your map that you found from the people in Gardong Marhold. This is where.
Do you see any tracks going into the cave or anything?
Sure, make a survival check.
Hey,
I'm gonna look for tracks too.
I rolled a 16. Let's see, what are we at? Survival.
Wisdom.
18.
Isabel don't see crap.
Okay. Isabel didn't see anything.
No,
Still-
she's too mad.
Still distracted.
She's just
So yeah. You find it looks like there are some very old tracks here that look like humanoid boot prints that are around here. There are also some fresher tracks that look like bear tracks.
Mm.
Specifically in this region, polar bears.
We're the most
Oh,
unhappy.
there's one that- That's definitely like a 2 pineapple, right?
At least
definitely.
Adult male is at least a 3.
Mhm.
Polar bears have been dying off though because of the heat, right? Just
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you have seen polar bears, dead corpses, in fact. They were some of the first to die. Because, fun biology fact, polar bears will actually bake to death if they are in places that are too hot because of the way they are insulated.
okay.
So, yeah. Which
Well-
is also why they can't exert themselves too much, because then their body heat makes them go up and they cook themselves a lot. Anyway,
This is a
Fun
learning
fact.
podcast, so we've
Fun
learned
fact.
about town councils and boroughs and about polar bears today.
There you go.
exactly. So, there you
Uh,
go.
Rock is gonna go fly up a little bit higher and kind of circle a little bit and see if she can see anything else in this area that might be a structure, a entrance, a something else.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Sure. 26.
Okay. With a 26, you can see that there are some more footprints up around this hill, sort of the top of the hill. You don't see another entrance, but what you do see are what look like almost like Aarakocra footprints. But you, with your keen eyes and your Aarakocra heritage, know that these are actually the footprints of boned humanoids, like skeletons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But there's no other place to go besides this cave?
Yes, it appears that the cave is the only way into, or the cave mouth is the only way into this cave.
Okay. Rock is she'll fly back down. She'll be like, there are like bony skeleton tracks up over there, but I don't see if we want to go in here or not. We might want to look around a bit more.
Yeah, cool. Let's explore before committing. Agreed.
I mean bears.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't want a bear coming up behind you.
I don't want a bear.
Oh.
Period.
I'll punch a bear. I'm not afraid to punch a bear. I'll do that.
No.
Oh, that's so great. Makes me think of that Punisher comic. So,
What time of day is it?
Ooh.
it is getting on towards night. It is dusk at the moment.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
So before we lose the light, let's look around and see if we can maybe follow some of these skeleton tracks and see if we can find anything else.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Make another survival check. There's quite a few of these skeleton tracks once you get up to the top of the.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Rock got a 17. She's desperately searching for somewhere else to go.
Okay. So you are following the skeleton tracks, and you see that they like come around one side of the hill, and then just sort of disappear, as if they walked right in through the mud there, on this big muddy hill, as if they like walked right in through the dirt.
And Rock's like she's followed tracks, and then it's just a muddy hill.
Mm-hmm.
She'll poke the hill.
Okay.
I gotta step back as she's poking the hill.
Thurston's just like, okay, you do it.
So, Rock,
Hi.
make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh dear. Okay. Rock versus hill, round 1. Ooh, that's a 19. Actually, yeah, no, it's a 19.
Okay. So you manage to feel, so you poke your finger through, or talon, I guess, through, and this mud, you don't feel any mud. Like it passes through just like it's a magical illusion. However, when you poke your hand through, you draw it back quickly, and you see there is a little necrosis on your talon as you take 5 points of necrotic damage.
Ah!
Ouch.
Are you demon plagued? Stay away from me.
Ah! And she's gonna just start like waving her hand, like get it off, no. So she's gonna freak out.
Yeah, so you're freaking out. It's not continuing to harm you anymore, so you are able to realize like it's not spreading or anything like that.
Thorsten, I think I'm dying. I put my finger in a hill and now I'm going to die. And I'll show him my necrotic finger. Talon.
I kind of look at it and does this like a disease or something, or is it?
You make a medicine check.
Negative on that. 3.
Oh,
Gotcha. Could be a disease.
Then
be the
I
demon
will
plague.
just see if I can heal it. I will say a quick prayer over it. So not a whole cure wounds, a healing word. There we go. So you're gonna get back 4 points.
Okay. Yeah, so most of the necrosis disappears. You have like maybe like a tiny little bit of dry skin at the end of that, but everything else is looking good.
Okay,
or
but
dry talon?
sure,
know.
feeling Talon. But she'll take that as a good sign that it's not like
Yeah.
going to kill her. She'll be like, oh, thank you. Oh, no, don't walk into the hill. Don't walk into hills.
Yeah. And Torsten, you would immediately know that if healing word worked, it's not a disease.
Right.
You would.
Rock is she's gonna find a rock on the ground. I want to throw it at the part of the hill that I stuck my finger in.
Okay. So yeah, you hurl the rock through, and it just like you all see it just passes right through that piece of the wall, as if it were an illusion.
This is not any better than the cave. We should find another way. And she's gonna turn and start to walk away. We should find a third way.
There you go.
We should find a third way that doesn't involve caves or the necrosis or necrosis into caves. And she'll walk away.
Like
okay.
what would be the third way?
I don't know, but I'll look for one. Bye.
Okay.
She's gonna fly off and
Do
continue.
it. Yeah, scouting mission. I want to go to the mouth of the cave and listen.
Okay. Make a perception check. Why not?
I will. Once I find my character sheet. There it is. Haha. 10.
Okay. So with a 10, you can hear the dripping that is going on down there. You also hear some like very, very gentle lapping of water against rocks.
Okay. I don't hear movement or footsteps or anything, right?
No.
All right. I will grab a torch out of my pack and light it and see if I can see anything in the cave from here.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like the rock, essentially, that this hill isn't just mud. It is mud-covered rock. And you can see that this starts to go down. This is a clearly worked opening. Someone built this cave opening, bored this out of the mountain. And you can tell it's some fine craftsmanship, although the front part of it at least looks very weathered. As you continue down, it seems like it is less weathered, but you're starting to get like this moldy smell as you look down there. And you can actually see at the very edge of the torchlight, it looks like it ramps down several feet, and then there is this dirty water that looks like it fills the cave.
Okay.
You can't see the back wall of the cave or anything like that. But you can see that, like, if you were to continue down the ramp, you would eventually be standing in water. Gross, muddy water.
Okay. We're not going in the cave, everybody. Let's cover the cave in rocks, and then no one will ever get out of the cave, and the cave will be dealt with.
I am totally okay with this.
That's the way it really works. Otherwise, adventuring would be really easy.
Okay. Well,
Light some TNT and toss it in.
yeah, exactly.
We've been
adventurers.
We've been walking all day. I'd like to actually do something.
All right.
All the adventurers are just bricklayers in this universe.
Yeah.
Brick up entrances, and they're like, nope. All right, we're good.
The smart ones, anyway.
Well, okay then. I guess we'll wait for Rock to come back, see if there's a third entrance that she found. If not,
Sure.
we can
Rock.
start.
Hi.
Grant, you're first. You're torchbearer.
What a position of honor it would be to have this. That's why I'm giving it to our leader, Gorf.
That's fine.
And you see, like, he and Gorf are pushing the torch back and forth.
We probably
And
shouldn't give the
Baratus-
rug the fire.
Baratus grabs the torch and says, "I'll go."
I immediately
no.
take it from Veritas and just take it myself. I'm like, I have dark vision and I have a torch, so
I have-
follow me.
Okay, cool. So you're able to see very far, and you go down. But Rock, how long are you willing to search for a third entrance?
Do I see everybody else going into the cave?
Yeah, you're flying around, so I assume you can sort of keep an eye on them while you're
Well,
looking at everything.
yeah, I'm waiting. I'm not going in just yet. I'm watching Rock. I wave.
Gotcha.
I'll wave
so
back.
Rock,
Yeah.
you,
If-
despite searching, you cannot see any other entrances to this thing.
Okay. Yeah, she'll keep flying around for a while until
Mhm.
it's getting awkward. And then
Mhm.
she'll land next to Rain and be like, well, I couldn't find anything else, but it's getting dark, so maybe we should camp and try again in the morning?
So it's dark weather if we go down here anyways.
How
We
do
gotta go down here.
how do polar bears work? Are they nocturnal or?
No.
How do undead
No.
work?
Hmm.
Are they nocturnal?
I would like to fashion a bear trap and put it
What
in
if it's
front
an
of the
undead
cave
polar bear?
entrance. Oh, I don't like that.
Like it wasn't. It is now.
Could you make an undead bear trap and then we stay outside overnight and see what happens?
the
Are you
the
scared to go
tracks.
underground,
I'm sorry, what?
I said, are you scared to go underground, Rock?
I've never been. That doesn't look good. My stomach does flips. And I can't do flips.
The tracks. How fresh did they look again?
The bear tracks,
Mhm.
fairly fresh. Within, I would say, the last day or so.
And they were going into the cave, or they were just around the cave.
Yes, to both. They're in and around the cave.
Okay.
So it looks like there are polar bears coming and going from this cave. Does that
See,
help?
all the more reason we should not go there.
I'm thinking like we could ambush the polar bear out here and kill it, because that seems like a smarter move than fighting polar bear in a cave.
I can put it to sleep no matter where we are.
Okay, then I could
That's true.
punch it.
So wait,
to
this
death.
cave goes down and then just ends in like a pool of water?
Well, we see a pool of water. It might go further. That's all I
Yeah.
could see from here. I don't know.
What
if
can
Isabel
I
could
see?
more.
I can see
Yeah.
further than
Mm-hmm.
Rain.
Yeah. So
What can I-
Isabel, if you if you go down the ramp just a little bit, you're able to see that this looks like you can see water dripping from the ceiling here, but the cave itself is worked stone, and you see all along the sides of the walls, at least as far as you can see, there are these internment niches carved into the walls, and in also like in between the niches there are elvish characters that indicate like elf names and that sort of thing. So
Okay, so like a catacombs.
yeah, like a barrow, if you will. So yes, you can see that. Yeah, there are these catacombs that have elvish carved into the walls, and the water. It looks like it's sort of dripping down from below, has filled the cavern. Just the sort of the floor of the cavern. It looks like you can't see any like bodies floating in the water or anything, so it may not have gotten even as high as the first internment niche, although
Okay.
who knows, if it's a necromancer's lair, he might have something to do with those. So
Can I see there if there's any or even smell or anything like that? Can I sense that there are any signs that a living creature has made its nest or den or whatever here?
you can make a perception check.
Oh boy, I would love to fail at that. I am concerned. Ah, that's a 10.
Yeah, so you cannot see. You do see that this is like a big space, and it actually continues further back than even your dark vision can see in this
Ow.
space.
It's just it doesn't seem reasonable for a living bear to make its
It does
den
not.
in like a wet area, a wet
You are
flooded
correct.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll say that to the group that it's flooded but not too high, and that it doesn't make sense for a polar bear to make its area somewhere, its den somewhere that is not warm or dry.
That would also, Torsten, check out with, being a disciple of Eldath. You know a little bit about nature, especially the animals specific to this area. That does definitely track with what you know as well.
So hopefully, maybe it just looked around here and then left.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go, right?
Let's go.
Let's go. This is where we're supposed to be.
We're going in there?
Going in there. Baroness in the back.
Okay.
Or the middle.
So
I'll be in
this
the
And
middle.
Rock doesn't move. She continues to stand there looking at the cave.
Rock, would it make you feel better if Grant Ellington stayed with the horses so that they'll be safe?
Oh, yes, that sounds like a lovely idea. And he immediately jumps in the cart.
And you can clearly see on Rock's face that like she's upset that she didn't think about that earlier and wishes that she had.
Yeah. And he will sound the alarm in case anything happens.
Yes, I will. It'll sound like this. Help, help. Oh, I'm being attacked.
Good enough. And like what Isabel is kind of trying to do is like, your hesitation is not because you're afraid for yourself, but afraid for the horses, and maybe that'll kind of soothe Rock. But I don't know if Isabel knows Rock well enough at that point to know if that's a safe bet.
I think Rock is not hiding this because once again she doesn't lie. She's not like
right.
quivering or anything, but like, and she can tell that's what you're doing, and so she's like, okay, yeah, all right, okay, here we go, and she stands there.
Team Stealth, let's do it. Pumping you up.
Gorth,
right.
comes over and holds up a tassel, Rock, as if to say, like, it's willing to hold your hand.
Rock will just like grab a tassel, and then she's gonna just hold her wings around her, and she'll be like, all right, yeah, Team Stealth, we can do this, all right.
Okay.
And she's gonna walk on in.
It's too wholesome.
All right. So, how are you, what's your marching order? Just
No reason.
No reason.
You're able to spread out. This is a big place. Now, the ceiling here is only about 8 feet high, but the room itself is pretty wide. It goes off in in left and right and forward in a lot of directions. As you make your ways down, you are able to see that the water starts to get up to like about maybe mid-thigh on most of you. So that is, about where it is. It's probably a little bit higher on Rock and Isabel because they're both a little bit shorter.
Are there any like air bubbles coming up or anything from the water?
No air bubbles that you can see. No.
Are there any screams?
And Baratus is down there with you all.
So you said the ceiling is only about 8 feet high, but it's wide.
Mm-hmm.
Could Rock, in a panic, stretch out her wings and just like dart forward?
Yeah, you could if you want to.
I don't want to, but she's gonna. That's gonna freak her out. She's gonna step into water, and the ceiling's gonna be really high, and she's gonna be like, "Oscar's ahead!" And she's just gonna bolt forward.
Rock, what is your passive perception?
Oh no.
It's an excellent question. My passive, it's 19. It's very high.
Okay.
It's just good when avoiding walls or anything.
All right. And let me me see here. Okay, so so you notice just as it jumps out. So everybody sees Rock hit the ceiling and like start to just take off straight away. As you all are just entering this cave, Rock, you just notice leaping up out of the water is this form of a bloated, rotting polar bear coming out, tries to snap at you with its jaws. Meanwhile, all of the rest of you see two other similar shapes, giant bears that sort of stand up on these rotting legs and shamble forward toward you. And that is where we will end our session for today.
I'm sorry, everybody.
It's okay.
It's not your fault, Lauren.
No, it's
I don't
totally.
want you. I don't want you or Rock to blame
Ah.
yourselves because it's James's fault.
Rock, I would give you inspiration, but you already have it. So
I do.
what do you mean it's James's fault? I didn't write. I did. So,
Nope.
It's John.
If my
Force.
baby
Yeah.
dies, I'm gonna be mad.
my
baby
my
doesn't
undead
do that.
No,
my
I meant
undead
my
polar
baby.
bear face was not the I've already got this idea. It was they guessed what's going to happen. Don't give it away.
Oh, okay.
But I would have stolen it because it was a great idea.
Aw, thanks. I feel better about my son dying in a cave.
So let's quickly go around the table and say where people can find you. First, I want to give a shout out and thanks actually to Topher for hitting us up. There will be an NPC named after you, Topher. Get ready. It is coming. Thank you so much for the bits.
And for the
and
sub.
Josh,
Topher
yeah.
subbed
Oh,
as
and
well.
the sub.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
Hey.
much for the sub. Yes, absolutely. If you like the show, please over here in the Don't Split the Podcast Network channel, hit that follow button. Get following so you never miss a Demonplague episode. They're all happy. They're all wonderful, and they're all great. So thank you so much, Topher, for that. And hey, if you like this, guess what? You can order the Demonplague right now in PDF and in print. For PDF, go to roleplayingtips.com/Demonplague. And for print, you can head on over to Drive Through RPG. So go check that out. And now let's quickly go around the table, let people know where they can find you. TK, let's start with you.
That's cool. You see me clearly writing. It's fine. It's me. It's TK. I write spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories, you can find them on tkjwrites.com. You can find them on TK Joins the Fray on Twitter. I've got all kinds of links for all that nonsense. I also have my schedule for all of the games that I play in during the week because I am steadily getting close to my goal of playing Dungeons and Dragons every weekday.
Woo.
So
Nice.
Tuesdays I'm here, Wednesdays and Thursdays I'm on WebDM with Invisible Sun and Land Between Two Rivers. This Thursday, since they announced it yesterday, I'll be on D&D Beyond from 12 to 3 Pacific time for a World Builders stream. So that'll be fun. Amy Vorpal will be DMing that. I'm very excited to debut my tiny feral Peter Pan baby. Fridays, my articles for new DMs. Yeah, oh, I'm excited. Fridays, I do articles for newer DMs. This week, we are starting the month-long series Treat Yourself. So I'll be reviewing indie products that I find on DM's Guild and Drive Through RPG. This week we'll be doing GM's Guide to Tarot, so making NPC characters using tarot spreads.
Ooh.
So it's very interesting. I tried it out a couple days ago. Such a cool thing, but you'll read that review Friday. That's it. That's all I have to say. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Excellent. Excellent. And where can people find you, Lauren?
Oh, hi. I'm Lauren Urban. You can find me as Obo Crazy online, especially on the Twitters. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. So I'm super happy to have TK on our channel on Thursday. Makes me excited. I'm also the Dungeon Master
nice.
for Dungeon Drunks, which you can find wherever fine podcasts are sold. Comes out on Mondays. And I am playing Orkira, the cleric Dragonborn that is on Wednesdays on the D&D Beyond channel on Heroes of the Vale. So that's super exciting. And hey, if you're in the Seattle area, you can come see me playing a Christmas concert with the Lake Washington Symphony this weekend, and then all of the Nutcrackers.
Nice. That is awesome.
Every Nutcracker.
Every Nutcracker. Lauren will be there.
Yep. Even if I'm not there, I'm there. I'm playing second oboe English horn. It's great.
That's right. And where can people find you, Robert?
I'm Robert Ducci. You can find me on Twitter at Radu76. You can find me on Facebook in the big Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition group. You can play some D&D with me. I run a Patreon. It's patreon.com/RobertAducci. I run a Dark Sun game, 5th edition. I run an Eberron game, a Waterdeep game, and a bunch of AL games. So if you like to play any of that stuff, check that out.
Holy crap. That's awesome.
It's a lot of
And
games.
Rudy, where can people find you?
Hi, I'm on Twitter at Rudy Basso. Go to Don't Split the Podcast Network for a lot of great podcasts. And
Ooh.
if you want to catch up or not catch up, I guess, if you want to relive the Demon Plague in podcast form, be sure to head to iTunes and grab a copy. It's a
Definitely.
little different. It's got some sound effects, got less uhs and ums. So if that's something you want to
I don't
hear,
know what you're
go
talking
for
about.
it.
Yes, absolutely. And Rudy is the editor for that.
Yeah.
So huge thank you to Rudy for making that happen. And I am also at don'tsplittthepodcastnetwork.com, where you can find awesome podcasts. If you like actual plays, we got them. And we also have interviews and advice about role-playing games and that sort of thing. I'm also over at worldbuilderblog.com, where I am writing about the Demon Plague. If you're running the Demon Plague and you want some ideas, next few weeks I'm going to be putting up articles about it. So you should go check that out. And I'm on Twitter at James Intricasto. So I think that is going to do it for this episode of The Demon Plague. Rudy,
Smash that follow.
smash that follow and don't let the demons bite.
Don't let the demons bite.
It's
Bye.
going to
Stay out of
catch on.
caves.
It's going to catch on. It's catching on.